Today we've got some big NBA trade rumors to break down. Rumors are swirling that the Chicago Bulls and Denver Nuggets are engaged in trade talks centered around a potential blockbuster deal that would send Zach LaVine to Denver in exchange for Michael Porter Jr. Welcome to Chicago Bulls News, your go-to source for the latest updates on the Windy City's favorite team. We've got you covered with breaking news, trade rumors, and in-depth analysis of everything Bulls. From United Center to the front office, we're bringing you the inside scoop. Hit subscribe and let's talk Bulls basketball. Today, we're going to dive deep into the latest Chicago Bulls rumors involving a potential blockbuster trade with the Denver Nuggets. The rumor has it that the Bulls could be looking to trade their star, Zach LaVine, in exchange for the Nuggets' rising star, Michael Porter Jr. Now, this is a trade that would have major implications for both franchises, so we're going to break down all the details, analyze the potential impact, and give you our thoughts on whether or not this deal makes sense for both teams. Let's get right into it. The rumors first started swirling a few days ago when a credible NBA insider reported that the Bulls and Nuggets have been engaged in trade discussions centered around Zach LaVine and Michael Porter Jr. The two teams have been exploring a potential one-for-one swap that would send LaVine to Denver and bring Porter Jr. to Chicago. Now, this isn't the first time we've heard Zach LaVine's name come up in trade rumors, as the former All-Star has been the subject of speculation for the better part of the last year or so. With the Bulls seemingly stuck in basketball purgatory, unable to take the next step and become a true contender in the Eastern Conference, there's been a growing sentiment that the team may need to blow things up and start over. And a trade involving their best player, Zach LaVine, would certainly qualify as a franchise-altering move. Let's start by taking a closer look at Zach LaVine's situation in Chicago. The 28-year-old guard is coming off another impressive individual season, averaging 24.8 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 4.2 assists per game while shooting a career-high 50.4% from the field. However, despite LaVine's personal success, the Bulls as a team have struggled to find consistent winning ways. After making the playoffs in the 2021-22 season, the Bulls took a step back this past year, finishing with a 40-42 record and missing the postseason altogether. There's been a growing sense of frustration within the organization, and with LaVine set to hit free agency in the summer of 2024, the front office may feel compelled to explore trade options to avoid potentially losing him for nothing down the road. At the same time, LaVine has repeatedly expressed his desire to remain in Chicago and help build a winner. But with the team's lack of progress, you have to wonder how much longer his patience will last. Now, let's shift our focus to the other key player in this rumored trade, Michael Porter Jr. The 25-year-old forward has blossomed into a bona fide star over the past couple of seasons with the Nuggets. After missing the entire 2021-22 campaign due to a back injury, Porter Jr. returned this past season and averaged a career-high 17.4 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 1.0 assists per game while shooting an impressive 49.2% from the field and 40.8% from three-point range. Porter Jr.'s combination of size, length, and perimeter shooting ability makes him one of the most intriguing young talents in the league. When he's healthy and in rhythm, he can be a dynamic scorer and a matchup nightmare for opposing defenses. Michael Porter Jr. would instantly become the new centerpiece of the Bulls roster, and at just 25 years old, he'd be the perfect building block to build around for the future. His combination of size, skill, and scoring ability would give the Bulls a potential superstar to build around, and pairing him with a young core that includes guys like Patrick Williams, Ayo Dosunmu, and the team's upcoming draft picks could be the start of a promising new era in Chicago. The downside, of course, is that the Bulls would be losing a proven all-star in LaVine, who has consistently been one of the league's most potent scorers over the past several seasons. Anytime you trade a player of that caliber, there's a risk that it could backfire and set the franchise back even further. But if the Bulls truly believe that they've hit a ceiling with LaVine as the centerpiece, then a move like this could be the spark they need to jumpstart a full-scale rebuild and position themselves for long-term success. On the flip side, for the Nuggets, this trade would be a bold move to try and take their team to the next level. By acquiring Zach LaVine, the Nuggets would be pairing him with Nikola Jokic to create one of the most dynamic scoring duos in the NBA. LaVine's ability to create his own shot and score at all three levels would complement Jokic's elite passing and playmaking perfectly. And with the Nuggets already boasting a deep and talented roster, adding a player of LaVine's caliber could be the missing piece that puts them over the top and makes them a legitimate championship contender. The downside for the Nuggets is that they'd be parting ways with a promising young talent in Michael Porter Jr., who, when healthy, has shown the potential to be a perennial all-star. Entrusting the second star role to LaVine, who is 4 years older than Porter Jr., could be seen as a risky move that prioritizes short-term success over long-term stability. But for a Nuggets team that's knocking on the door of a title, the opportunity to pair Jokic with a player like LaVine might be too good to pass up. Of course, as with any major trade rumor, there are a few potential roadblocks that could prevent this deal from actually happening. These types of cultural and philosophical shifts can sometimes be difficult for players to navigate, and that could be a potential roadblock to a deal getting done. Ultimately, whether or not this rumored trade between the Bulls and Nuggets comes to fruition remains to be seen. It's the kind of blockbuster move that would have massive implications for both franchises, and there's certainly a case to be made for why it could make sense for both sides. For the Bulls, it could be the start of a much-needed rebuild around a talented young player in Michael Porter Jr., and for the Nuggets, it could give them the chance to pair Nikola Jokic with another elite scorer in Zach LaVine, potentially elevating them to championship contender status. Of course, there are also plenty of risks and potential pitfalls that both teams would need to carefully consider. But in the ever-evolving landscape of the NBA, it's the kind of bold, franchise-altering move that could ultimately define the futures of both the Bulls and the Nuggets. So, what do you guys think? Do you like the idea of a Zach LaVine for Michael Porter Jr. trade, or do you think the Bulls and Nuggets should explore other options? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.